Julie, I want to thank you for joining us. This is so exciting on so many levels. I want to know for yourself personally, as an entrepreneur, you've taken so many chances throughout your life and career. Why for you is Angel City a safe bet?
Oh, I don't know if any entrepreneurial endeavor is safe, but I feel really good about this one. I feel like I have consistently been ahead of the curve, sort of seeing where the puck is going or the ball is going, right? And trying to speed up to it. And I think at this moment in time, getting behind women's professional soccer, certainly here in the United States, is absolutely the right time. I'm excited about this because it blends my passion for sports personally with my entrepreneurial nature. And I get to work with the best product possible, which are these world champion women's professional soccer players who have been doing it for 8 years, but just not at the level that we think we can bring awareness to it. So the idea that we can bring a professional team here to Los Angeles, give something for our young girls to dream about, makes it much more real for them and a real pathway to professional soccer for them.
So how is this brought to your attention initially? What's the origin story here?
Absolutely. So Natalie Portman, the actress and activist, is really behind all of this. She became involved with Time's Up as a board member of Time's Up, and really wanted to understand the pay equity fight that was happening with the U.S. women's soccer team, as well as in the entertainment space. She attended a talk by Abby Wambach, who talked about how different it was for retired professional women's soccer players versus men's soccer players, and was really inspired to learn more. And spent about 2 years just asking the question, why? And then followed it up with, how can I help?
Well, this is exactly the clip I want to show you. We know Natalie is shooting a movie in Australia, but she spoke with another co-owner, Julie Foudy, at the ESPNW Summit just a few weeks ago. So take a look at this. This is about her inspiration.
When we heard from Abby Wambach spoke at one of the conferences, and she was talking about her experience, as you well know, being this really virtuosic player at the top of your field, in the top sport, most popular sport in the world, and not being compensated on any scale close to the male counterparts. And we have the best players in the world in the most popular sport in the world in our women's soccer players in the US. We are not, it's like an underutilized resource that we have. And also what a culture shift it would be if we could amplify, the existing talent and just be like, this needs to be prime time, this needs to be how important these players are to us in our community. And it's so exciting to do it in LA because Southern California.
If I could hug you right now, I am right through the screen. I would be climbing through the screen, hugging you right now.
This is bigger than just creating a soccer team. This is a mission. What would you say is the mission statement of Angel City FC, or Angel City, not just FC, right?
Yeah, our ambition is to become a global brand, and the mission is to entertain the world globally, because at the end of the day, this is entertainment, this is fun, this is supposed to be joyful. Having said that, our purpose is to set higher expectations on and off the field. That is what our mission is. We want to address equality and impact. Equality as it relates to pay equity or supporting women-owned businesses or underrepresented communities, impact in making a difference in our local community, and then more broadly. So we think about Angel City as a platform that stands for equality and impact. And Angel City FC, this professional women's soccer club that we're building here in Los Angeles, is really the first expression of that. And we have an incredible group of people from entertainment, venture, technology, product, media, sports, gaming, who have come together to stand behind this mission that, Angel City is bigger than a game. And those people include Eva Longoria, America Ferrara, Jessica Chastain, Jennifer Gardner, 14 former US women's national team players, including Julie Foudy, who you just saw, Abby Wambach, Mia Hamm. This is their legacy that we're extending, and we're looking at it differently by sort of reshaping expectations of what a professional sports team can be, because our backgrounds, my background is specifically, and Alexis Ohanian, who is one of our founding investors, our controlling owner, he and his wife, Serena Williams, and their daughter, Olympia, are all investors. We want to look at how can we use tech and product? How can we use social? How can we change the idea of what fan engagement is and bring things that are common in other industry to sports?
You talk about the ownership group. I mean, there are a few things obviously that set this group apart, the star power being one of them, but the fact that you have a devoted ownership group, an ownership group that have the same desire, mission. There's not sort of a grandfather group or a grandfather team. What difference will that make when you have this level of personal investment?
I mean, you're right. It's a majority female led, run, and funded group. And I think what makes this exceptionally different is that we're leading with purpose. It's our passion, our purpose that we believe will lead to profitability. This isn't a charity. There is a movement going on. This is bigger than the game. But ultimately, we want to put the best product on the field and prove that sports can be profitable. We want to utilize our platform to not only build awareness for these incredible players in this league, but also the impact that having this club can make within a community, to underrepresented communities, to brown and Black communities, to women-owned businesses, right? How we can give back. And one of the ways that we are showing that from day one is we have announced a 10% sponsorship program. We call it the Angel City Sponsorship Program, where 10% of all of our sponsorship revenue will go back into social good programs that we do here in the community.
What kind of conversations have you had with the league itself? Because obviously this should and would have major ripple effects for the rest of the league and time moving forward.
Yeah, we've always talked about writing a new playbook and open sourcing that playbook and sharing it with all the different teams within the league. You know, we want all ships to rise. And so as we think about compensating players outside of purely salary, we'd love to share those ideas with the other teams. We also want to set new bars as it relates to sponsorship dollars so that those teams can go after it as well. The league has been incredibly supportive in growing the exposure of the NWSL and doing multi-year deals with CBS and Twitch. So these games are not only available domestically, you know, on network television, cable, and through a streaming service, CBS All Access, but also internationally through Twitch. You don't have to buy a ticket to be a fan of Angel City, and we're going to give you a number of ways to engage with us, to show your pride and your enthusiasm and your fandom, even if you're not here locally in Los Angeles.
Well, speaking of that, I have to think that people all over the place are starting to go, this is a really interesting model. I wonder if we can do that here. Are you starting to hear from other groups who are kind of checking out the landscape at this point?
I would say that the founding group here of Natalie, Kara, Alexis, and myself have had over a half a dozen conversations with different potential ownership groups, both in the NWSL and the WNBA, who are looking to replicate what we did, or at least understand how we did it. You know, really all over the United States and Canada, there's a real enthusiasm and excitement. You know, as Natalie said in that video, this is the global sport, and these are the best players in the world, and they're playing right here. So we all have to work together to make sure everybody can watch them. And once they do, we know the audience will show up in the form of tickets, merchandise, support, and then we can all sort of grow together as, you know, more revenue comes into the league.
We leave every guest with this question, so I'll ask it to you based on your incredible life and career and body of work. What is your best advice to a young you?
It's two parts. One is to slow down and take your time. Careers are long. And if you know what you're really passionate about and what you want to do, don't stray from that path. Just take your time and you'll get there. The second part as an entrepreneur is never take no for an answer. You may have to pivot, you may have to tweak your idea a little bit, but we got over 30, 40 no's. But if you're persistent and you believe in your mission and you're passionate and you keep going, you'll find some yeses. And we couldn't be more thrilled with Alexis Ohanian and the other, 59 owners that we have to bring Angel City FC to life.
Including Olympia, which is...
Yes, the youngest professional sports owner at 3 years old.
It represents a lot. Julie, congratulations on all of this. Really can't wait to see what happens next.
Thank you so much for having me.